All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. We're just getting started here. I'm just checking make sure we got sound. Our last webinar I did, there was no sound for the beginning. And I got some messages like, we can't hear you. All right. But I do believe I got some sounds. If I can get a thumbs up from somebody in the chat there. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, here we are. We're going to be talking about home financing with financing the repairs or renovation. So buying the home itself might need a little bit of work, might need some updating. One loan, don't have to take a lot of cash out of your pocket. You can finance that in one payment. It's a great concept, and we're going to be talking about that today. I'm Ron, the home loan dude, and here to give you the guidance and advice you need to make sure your home financing needs are settled. Now, here's the thing. A lot of home buyers miss some opportunities because they're just not able to find that right home. Maybe a move-in ready home, they're priced out of the market. It could be that the home is in the right location, but it just needs too much work that they're not gonna be able to take that money out of their pocket. That's what home renovation financing is for. Now, financing a home is not a one size fit all, and this is across the board with everything. And it's definitely is nothing different with renovation financing. There's 6 versions of home renovation loans that are available for everybody. Now, listen to this right here, and this is where a lot of people miss opportunity. There are investors that are flipping homes and making a profit. So they're buying a home that needs renovation work. Then they're getting the work done. Sometimes they're doing it themselves. Most of the time, not so great. If they hire the work out, it looks pretty good. And you can definitely tell when somebody does their own work. Now, I'm not knocking anybody has skill and talent to be able to lay tile, hang drywall, hang cabinets, and uh, do the grout lines and the caulk lines and all those things like that. And it looks professional. There are very few people that know how to do that. And we've seen many times when somebody wants to do that on their own. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we get through this. But there's those investors called flippers. They buy a property that needs work, needs some work, needs a lot of work. They buy the property and then they get the work done and then they list it and they sell it and they make a profit. Now, can is that not able to be done with a buyer that wants to live in the home? Well, a lot of people say, well, you got to have cash to do that. Um, you got to be able to have the credit line available to be able to grab that and do all those repairs. I need the time to be able to do those things. Well, that's exactly what home renovation loans are designed for. Listen, home ownership is for the person, the person that's buying the home to be able to live in the home. Yes, there is an avenue, there is a road there for investors in real estate. I'm one, I believe in it absolutely 100%. But for people who want to be able to buy a home and live in it and have that home create generational wealth to make retirement easier down the road, that's your opportunity also. We shouldn't just say, oh, let's watch a show on TV about flipping homes. Look all the money they're making. Look all the designs. Hey, take those designs, contact your mortgage broker, and have your mortgage broker advise you on the right type of home renovation loan is available for you. And then you take that home and you put those designs in and make that be your home. And then instead of that being profit, that's equity that's now going to start growing year over year for you. All right. So basically, who this is for is first time home buyers. It's somebody, like I said, it's like not able to find a move in ready home and that's ready to go. They need some repairs. It's for veterans, for people that have served men and women who have served our country. There's the veteran loan for this. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Um, or maybe, just a home needs a little bit of cosmetic repair, or it needs some major structural repair, and you need to know how to get into it. Well, that's exactly what these loans are for. All right. So I'm going to break down a few of them for you right now. And I'm not going to get in the weeds into them, but I'm going to give you enough information to say, okay, now I feel a little bit comfortable with taking on a home that needs work. Now I'm going to start off with this. All of these loans, you cannot do the work yourself. You cannot be the contractor, and you cannot do the work and yourself. Even if you have a contractor's license, you're not able to do it. This is not this type of loan. This is for an individual who wants to buy the home, hires a contractor. Contractor goes out, does the work, gets their subs, does all their work, boom, 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 house, right? But you, as the buyer of the home, the borrower of the renovation loan, you get to pick out everything. You get to pick out the cabinets, the countertops, the paint, the shingle colors. Well, as long as it matches, if you're inside of an HOA, got to go with those guidelines, right? But it's almost as close. It's as close as you can get to having a new construction. If anybody is listening, had a house built before, or if you haven't, if you basically go into the home office, the community, and you tell them which floor plan you want, and then you go to the design center on some places, and you get to pick out all your options, and then the price just keeps going up and going up and going up. And now that home that they said was 400,000 is now 550,000 after lot premiums and all this. This is a lot more control. Now there are some builders you don't even get to pick anything. It's you get this house, this house, this house, which one you want. So now you're paying a new construction price, and you don't even get to pick out your stuff. That's why these renovation loans are so powerful. A lot of people are missing on this, because what's so great about a renovation loan, is you get to go into an established community. You get to go to a community that already has the all the vegetation, all the landscaping. Sorry, I drew a blank there. All the landscaping already put in place, and now you can just kind of pull some stuff out. These new construction communities are getting built. Almost all of them, except for in Central Florida, one. I named this Orlando, buying a house in Orlando, but we can do these things anywhere we can do these loans. But in Orlando, there's a lot. That's why I picked it, because there's a lot of homes available to be bought that just need some TLC. This is what's going to do it for you. But if you go to a new construction community, the trees are just now being planted because they ripped out all the trees. They're just now planting trees. So you don't even get no shade. It's going to take 10 years or more before you start to have mature landscaping. So a lot of options there for you to be able to buy into a new community. Buy into an established community. You can understand what the schools are, the traffic patterns, because, way back before I'm over in Claremont, before I got so developed here, there was one of the areas that I was in, and I was talking to a borrower, and they're like, it's so calm and peaceful over here. It's like, well, they're four-laning this road, and it's going to connect to the turnpike one day. It's not going to stay calm and quiet anymore. And sure enough, it's a 4-lane highway with shopping centers all over the place, connection to the turnpike, lots and lots of traffic each and every day. So, but if you already know that, then that's fine. All right. So back onto basically the loans. And again, you have to hire the contractor out. We're going to start with the FHA renovation loans, and there's two types of FHA renovation loans. One is the limited, and basically there is no minimum that you have to do with that, but the maximum is $75,000. Now, the nice thing about the FHA limited is you don't have to get a consultant involved, which is really nice because it saves you some money, right? But if it's going to be 75,000 is your max there. If it's going to be something more than that, then you'll have to change over something. Now both the FHA and the FHA loans, you can do as low as 3.5% down. Credit scores down to 600. So very flexible with down payment and credit score. And you could actually ask for a seller credit of 6%. So what that means is 6% of the purchase price, let's just say 400,000, doesn't have to be 400, could be 300, let's say 400,000 is $24,000. So your estimated closing costs with loan fees, title, mortgage doc stamps, getting your escrow account set up for your property taxes and your property insurance is going to be, with this type of loan, it's going to be about 4%, right? So the other 2%, you could take that and go towards doing a permanent buy down and help with your rate, or just make sure everything's going to be taken care of. Most of the time, you're going to have some extra if you do get 6%. Likelihood you get 6%, I've seen it, doesn't always happen, but you still got to ask. All right. And with a good real estate agent, which I can refer you several, they will definitely be able to negotiate you some great seller credit and everything. So FHA limited is 75,000. And, it's a little bit easier because you don't have the consultant involved with cost and everything. And then there's the standard 203K FHA. The minimum of that is 5,000, but there's no maximum. That's amazing. And here's the even a cooler thing is, if you found the perfect property, but that property had nowhere to go forward, you would say, you probably just need to tear this thing down and build something new. You could do that with a standard FHA 2 or 3K loan. That's pretty awesome, right? So definitely something to think about. And you do have the consultant, and those consultant fees range between $400 and $1,000. Now, something to think about too with all these loans is you do have the cost of the loan itself, of the renovation part. That cost in itself, like these fees and inspection fees, those are part of the maximums, if there are any maximums. So, of course, with the 2 or 3K standard, you don't have to worry about that. All right. So that's a really powerful loan. And both FHA loans, there's no early payment penalty. So if you wanted to refinance that out of that loan and get into another loan because rates got better, you could do that. That's possible. Even with these loans, you can even finance the you can finance the payments into the loan if if their home is inhabitable, meaning you can't live in it. If it's inhabitable and it's going to take like 6 months, you could finance, if there's room, you can finance the mortgage payments into the loan and have the money there, so you're not having to come out of your pocket. So a lot of great ways to really structure these. Now, before I move on, let's talk about value. So you can't go into an area where the average home is about 400,000 and build a home that is worth, it's like a 500 or $700,000 home. It has to be matched within the area, right? It has to kind of assimilate. So it can definitely be new. It can definitely be updated, but you just can't, if most of the homes are 2,500 square feet, you can't tear that down and build a 4,000 square foot home. It won't simulate to the area. So it has to be similar. But if you're looking in an area, that's going to be fine for you. And most likely, if those homes are 2,000 square feet, they might not even have the room on the property anyways, because you still got to follow building codes and setbacks and all those things like that. But we never run across that problem. Every once in a while, somebody wants something really extra. Well, you just have to pay out of your pocket on that. And you don't want to, it can't be put into the loan, and that's just more money out of your pocket. But you can do a lot. There's a lot of really great renovations that you can do for a home. All right. So those are the two about the standard and the limited FHA. Very popular loans and definitely benefit 3.5% down, 600 credit score. I mean, this is a shoe in for a lot of people. All right. And then we change over to, oh, by the way, also the FHA is owner occupied only. You have to occupy the property as soon as it's livable. You need to be able to move into that home and make it your primary residence. You can't do it as an investment property. Now, with the two conventional style, which is the Fannie Mae Home Style and the Freddie Mac Choice renovation, those two are very flexible with occupancy. It can be your primary residence, it can be a second home, and or it can be an investment property. So a lot more flexibility with the Fannie Mae and the Freddie Mac renovation loans. Now the credit score is a little bit it does have to be a little bit higher there, and the down payment. If you are a first time home buyer, you can have down. I'm sorry, I had to check my volume. I you have to you can first time home buyer can be as low as 3%. 3% for this type of loan. If you're not a first time home buyer, 5%. And think about this. If you're looking at properties and there's an area you want to be in, but because the homes have aged and aged and aged and no updates were done by the seller or sellers living there, and maybe it needs a new roof. Maybe the hot water heater and the stove and the microwave look like they're from when they were first built, which there are a ton of those. And you feel like you want to really be in this area, but you don't have the money to uh, do that. Well, negotiate the price to where you can finance the renovation work that of a payment that you can afford. That happens. It's going on, right? So that's what's fantastic about these. Now, great thing about the conventional financing, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the home style and choice, is you can still get seller concessions. Now, if you're going to do less than 10%, the max seller concession is 3%. If you're going to do 10%, over 10%, and to 25%, then it's 6% of seller concessions. And if you're going to do, if you're only going to finance 75% of loan, you're going to put down 25% or more, then you can actually get 9%. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say no because we've gotten our borrowers and work with some great real estate agents, and they've been able to negotiate some amazing credits. And I don't really want to mark this time on this and everything, but might as well. I mean, this market right now is set for this type of loan because buyers are an opportunity to win, right, in this market right now. Now, there's no minimums for these two loans, but there is a maximum of 75% of the renovation cost, and that is based off the lesser of the purchase price, the acquisition price, or the after completion renovation appraised value, whichever is less. And we would do those calculations up front to be able to figure that out. And so it's still lots of money to be able to use for renovation cost, and a lot of things you can do with these loans, whether it could be some structural items. You can actually finance luxury items, unlike the FHA. You can luxury items like a swimming pool or a spa, a jacuzzi. If you wanted to finance that in, I don't know if you really want to do that unless everything's great about the house and that's the only thing that needs to be done. Just because it's very expensive to build a pool today. But everything can, everything's negotiable So with the sellers and everything. So that's a really great benefit on there. A lot of options for that. Of course, you can put down more if you want. Like I said, with the higher seller concessions, you can do more on that. And so those loans right there are fantastic. Definitely another option for you. These next two are specialized loans. One of my favorites is VA renovation loans. To all our men and women out there who have served so bravely and given us our freedoms of all we have in this country, thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is a benefit you should absolutely take advantage of, whether it's buying a home straight VA and you don't have any renovation along with it. There's that, just like there is straight FHA and straight on the conventional with no renovation stuff. Just you're just buying the home. VA has that. They also have a VA renovation option. Now, no minimum, but a maximum of 100,000 on that. These other loans, they do give you about 12 months to get them completed. With the VA, it does need to be completed within 6 months, and so they kind of want that going in gear there for you. With the VA, no money down. Now you do have to have those entitlements to you available, and you have the serve, and you have the your options for the being a veteran. Then you can take advantage of this, so you can do a zero down if you want, and there are a lot of other great benefits with better mortgage rates. There's no type of mortgage insurance. There's a VA funding fee which can be financed into the loan unless you have a disability from your services. Then those are waived, which is amazing. So a lot of great opportunities with that, and a lot of flexibility, being able to get work done on the home pretty much any way you need to get it done. So that's a great option. And then the other loan itself is the USDA, great for rural areas. A little bit more strict because it does require no money down, zero down, and no mortgage insurance involved. There's some fees up front, but there's no ongoing mortgage insurance. But there is income restrictions on that one, and also the debt to income ratios are very tight on that. So you really got to find a good deal. Um, and those are a little bit harder getting through, but we definitely want to explore those options. I always look, if a home is in a USDA eligible area and we're able to find that easily, whether land or the home, if it's just land on it, that's a whole nother video. But if the home is located in a USDA eligible area, then we're going to look at that first and see if you can qualify for that. And if you can qualify for that, we're going to compare it with one of these other options. And we're going to see which one's going to be better for you, because USDA, you can do zero down. So keeping more money in your pocket. So that's some really important parts on that. And my volume went weird again. Okay. So that's some important parts on that and everything. And the thing is giving yourself these options. I just went over 6 different loan options. You really have the keys in your hand, be able to take those next steps and be able to purchase that home that's going to best fit what you need on that and everything. You can do from kitchen repairs to kitchen updates to bathroom updates, get a new roof. What we see a lot of times is, it's why a lot of these homes are sitting on the market not getting sold, besides being overpriced. These sellers are starting to understand is nobody really wants to go in and pull money out of their pocket to replace the roof, replace the AC, rip up all the carpet, put down new floors. It's you don't ever want to. A lot of people don't want to do all that work, right? Don't have the finances or the cash to do that. This is what opens that door. Now, let me give this disclaimer. I'm going to throw out some numbers right now, And these are not exact numbers. These are only examples. The market for cost of goods is very volatile, just like mortgage rates are very volatile. So what we say today can be completely different tomorrow. But just to give you some ideas, to get a kitchen replaced and rebuilt for a home that's 2,500 square feet is about 20 grand to do a complete gut, right? If you're looking at a bathroom in that about same size, you're looking at about $7,000 or 8,000, depending on what fancy stuff you want for your bathroom. A roof is going to cost you close to, on a 2,500 square foot house, somewhere between, as long as there's no deck replacement, meaning the decking that you put underneath on top of the trusses, between the trusses, from the trusses to the shingles, the decking there. If there's none of that needs to be replaced, and it doesn't have any gutters, you're probably looking at about $18,000 to $20,000. So 20, 40, $60,000 to have kitchen, bath, and new roof. All right. If I said that wrong. 20, 40 for the kitchen and roof, and another 6,000. So 46,000, 47,000. You need maybe you need a new AC. So you're up to 57,000, something like that. You have a new AC, and, maybe you save the money, you do the floors for yourself. Or maybe there's enough room to do the floors, right? You get the major components done. Getting floors done is not a hard task to do after you move in. Furniture can be moved around. If the floors are okay, save up the money, don't finance it, and do the floors later. But if the floors need to be done, or if you just wanted to get it all done at one time and there's room to do it, there's room in the valuation, then do it, right? We recently did a renovation for a borrower that the roof needed work, the kitchen was terrible, but the bathrooms were okay. They could live with them, and that's all they chose to do. They just chose to have their kitchen redone and the roof redone, and that's it. I've had another one that just did the kitchen and new floors, and the roof had a 10-year life expectancy on it, and they feel that they could just save up the money and replace the roof. So, there's all kinds of different ways to do this. For a small amount, if it's $7,000 or $15,000 to replace all the floors, and that's what's most important to somebody, because everything else is okay, then that's what you do. So a lot of different options that you can listen. The right home is out there for you, and it's sitting and it's waiting. Waiting for the perfect home will be a little bit harder. And I've been talking about this a lot lately, and I'm gonna say it again, and I'm not gonna stop saying it until it's gone, or we're seeing a turn. Right now is the opportunity. I do not know how long it's going to last. We don't know how long this will last, but there has not been a better opportunity for buyers to be able to go into the market than right now. Everybody's crying about these mortgage rates, but mortgage rates have been here many, many, many years. And I know home values have come up, but also income has come up. And so the opportunity is now, because any buyer that's going to wait until mortgage rates drop, or they think that this magical price reduction is going to happen, no, you're not going to buy. You're going to miss out. When the mortgage rates do drop, you're going to be competing against other buyers, and then you're going to be at bidding wars again, like we were a few years back. Well, now it's 26 already, so several years back now. We're going to be back to the bidding wars. There is not enough inventory for the amount of home buyers, that for people that want to be able to buy a home. And whether you want to now or somebody's going to want to later, it doesn't matter. There's not enough homes for everybody to be able to purchase whenever everybody feels that confidence level again. So this is very important. If you're even thinking about buying a home and your finances are in order, your credit is in order, you have the down payment available, and you can find a home that fits the payment that you are qualified for and you want to be able to make, then now's the time to do it. Because if you wait and you wait and wait, and then you find out that, oh, I hear that it's good to buy a house now, it's too late. You're going to pay more for that house. So right now you have the opportunity to pay a better price for the home. Honestly, the better way to do it is to get the rate buy down the rate, and save your money on your mortgage payments monthly. If you want it off the purchase price, however you want to do it, it doesn't matter. Now's the time, because whenever there's more buyers in the market, sellers don't have to negotiate on their purchase price. They can just say, I'll just wait. I know I'm going to be able to sell my house. Right now, they don't know if they can sell their house. So they're going to take an offer. And we're seeing it every day right now. So take the opportunity and do that. All right. So I hope you found this information very helpful. And I hope it was gonna open your eyes a little bit to think about what the opportunities are. If you like this information, please do me a favor. Go on my YouTube channel, Ron the Home Loan Dude, and like and subscribe. Leave a comment. In the description here, I have a link to my calendar. Go ahead and schedule a one-on-one call with me, and I'll be able to review your options that you're looking for. See if what the home prices look like, the payments that you're looking to do. We can review this information more to customize that loan for you, and be able to take that for you, and you can make that home ownership a dream come true, right? So thank you very much for watching, and I will please stay tuned. I'm going to be putting on a lot more classes, giving you all the education that you need. So whenever you are ready, which you need to be ready, I'm going to make you more prepared and more confident in your decision. All right. Well, I'm Ron, the Home Loan Dude, and thank you for watching. Y'all take care.